My friend left a comment regarding what happened in Nanjing. She says, "Thanks, Mr. Fong, you never researched why Japan invaded. I read that Japan wanted to conquer our motherland and turn it into their empire. This is your favorite half Chinese." Well, Rosaline, I am a little bit disappointed in you because you should have known that I have researched it. The reason why Japan invaded China is very important to understand because it is happening right now. They invaded China because their empire was collapsing economically. See, during World War One, Japan was making so much money off that war because they were making attire and clothing and whatever stuff it was needed for the military. So they got a lot of money, got very, very rich, but they thought it would always go on. So they didn't save their money. They spent it unwisely, and then after World War One, it collapsed, and nobody had any money because nobody had any reserves. It wasn't invested, and the whole 9 yards. So they collapsed. So they thought it would be a good idea to take China because, in their view, they had the right on China because they think, oh, we only have a little island and they have such a large country. We take theirs. And that's how it went. This is very important to understand because what do we see now? Right now, the economy of Japan is falling. It's just crumbling all around. It's horrible. And what are they doing now? They are surrounding China again. A lot of military islands are built or are militarized surrounding Taiwan, all in effort to attack China. They are also forging alliances with foreign forces that they before collaborated in 1901 to invade China. Those are forces like Australia, the United States, and other NATO states, right? So we see exactly that history is repeating again. And that is why history is so important to know.
Notice, they say pacifist Japan unveils biggest military buildup since World War II. Pacifist Japan and biggest military buildup. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is typical wordplay, good propaganda. How on earth are you a pacifist when you are unveiling the biggest military buildup since World War II? But yet they are a pacifist. That is what we call a purity fetish. They cannot do anything wrong, even when they are doing wrong.
And this is also how the Chinese people will see these actions of Japan. Because I understand that in the West and in Japan, you do not get your history because you live in a country of lies. But in China, they are being taught their entire history. A small kid could tell you more of their history than any Western person can tell about their own history. And therefore, in the West, we don't understand that what we are doing and treating, how we are treating China, that it is very bad and will be viewed in an extreme negative way. Therefore, the Japanese also do not understand that their actions are being viewed as such. And they don't understand that those actions will have repercussions. And the European people, and I'm talking about the citizens, not the people from the regimes. The regimes know. They must have studied it. How else can you be in a war machine, in a regime that's only out for war? Because that's what Europe is about, right? It's all about starting wars all over the place, especially when you are a part of NATO. All this is being viewed by the Chinese as extremely hostile. And that is exactly what they are preparing for. So when the Chinese say, prepare for war, this is what they mean. They see history repeating and they see that Europeans and Japanese want to invade China again and massacre the Chinese people. So now you know, when the Chinese say we must prepare for war, this is what they mean. They do not mean to attack others. They have no history of doing so. Chinese people and China as a country, generally speaking, as a whole, is the most peaceful powerhouse in the world right now. It has not been in a war for over 40, 50 years. Not a single bullet has been shot or fired. And that is why it is extremely important for people to know this history. Because I can tell you straight away, you start a war, they will finish it. Anyway, that was it. I hope also for the Western people that they now understand what it actually means. So when your little propaganda machine is yapping to you, telling you you have to be scared because China is saying they are preparing for war, now you understand that they are preparing to defend their nation against your regime. And I will ask all the Western nations, especially the one from NATO, to dive into the history of what your regime has done to China before. Because then you understand the reaction of China. I'm not mad at you for not knowing, because I am born and raised in the Netherlands and we don't get that history. There's not a single Dutch person that understands that we have actually invaded China and slaughtered their people. Because that's not a history that we are telling our own people. And in the rest of the NATO states, that's also not what will be told in school. So I don't blame you for not knowing. I will start to blame you after you've seen this video for not researching to understand what is really going on and what a dangerous game we are actually playing right at this moment. Because China has already warned us by saying, we know what you are doing, and that is putting you on notice. That is putting us on notice. It will never happen again. That was a promise of the Communist Party of China to its people. Now, a lot of you have a very wrong view of the Communist Party of China, but I can tell you one thing. Every time that they promised something to the people, they kept their promise. So, let me know what you all think of this in the comment section, and did you know this history? And did you find it interesting? And did you get a new insight? And are you going to research it to understand more of the geopolitical landscape between China and the West? If this was of any value of you, then please like, share, and if you have not yet, then follow. And it was my pleasure to serve you with another video. Thank you, your favorite half Chinese. Have a great day.